We welcome you today. Thank you so much for joining our webinar, Employer Spotlight, How Griffin Hospital Utilizes Education and Training to Tackle Staffing Shortages. We invite you to use the chat throughout the webinar. We're going to open it up to Q&A as well at the end of the webinar. And then we also will share the slides and the recording with you. So with that, let's get started. I'm going to talk just a minute about the survey that we're going to have, a live survey at the end of the webinar. And here at NHA, we strive to help educators and employers in every way, from the products we create to our customer service to supporting resources that we provide. And as part of that commitment, we want to be sure we're delivering the most valuable content through webinars such as this. So we would love to hear from you. And at the end of the webinar, we're going to provide you with that link right before the Q&A. So we really do appreciate your feedback. For those of you who do complete the survey, you'll be entered into a drawing for that Amazon $50 gift card giveaway. So thank you again. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I am going to have the honor to introduce you to our presenters today. We have Tracy Huneke. She's the manager of Griffin Hospital School of Allied Health Careers. She began her journey at Griffin Hospital in 2006 as an emergency room technician, promoted to the Department of Professional Development and Education, where she implemented a certification program through NHA. Tracy opened the Griffin Hospital School of Allied Health Careers in 2009. Griffin Hospital has hired approximately 600 of their graduates, and around 90% of their multi-skilled technicians are certified. Tracy has been a member of our NHA certification governing board since 2015. She resides in Naugatuck, Connecticut, with her husband of 31 years and their 2 daughters. And then we have her colleague, Michelle Derbyshire, who received her BSN from the University of Scranton and her MSN from Southern Connecticut State University. Michelle was staff nurse at Norwalk Hospital and Griffin Hospital and clinical adjunct faculty at Sacred Heart University. Currently, Michelle is the patient care technician instructor at Griffin Hospital School of Allied Health Careers, where she develops and implements the teaching plan, coordinates student externships, and oversees and evaluates student clinical competency. She's also the nurse professional development specialist at Griffin Health and oversees onboarding of nurse staff, assists with training volunteers, implements the nurse student intern program, and co-chairs the transition of care program. And then we have our very own Carla Hart, content strategist here at NHA. Carla's work includes workforce development and strategic operations around education and training solution for educators, professionals, employers, and learners in the healthcare space. She has 20 plus years of experience creating innovative programs and content, and has held a variety of positions, including classroom instruction in traditional, alternative, and medical settings, training and coaching in topics such as crisis intervention, behavioral strategies, transition and advocacy, as well as curriculum development. Carla received a bachelor's degree in speech pathology and audiology from Florida State University and a master's degree in special education with an emphasis on learning behavior and the brain from George Mason University in Virginia. And with that, we're going to go on to today's agenda: finding, hiring, and retaining talent challenges, introducing the Griffin School of Allied Health Careers, aligning credentials for phlebotomists and patient care technicians, outcomes and results. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tracy and to Michelle.
Good afternoon. So Griffin Health, we are a local community hospital. We have about 160 beds here at the hospital, and we try to serve the lower Naugatuck Valley. We are the flagship hospital for Plaintree, and a little bit about Plaintree and the Plaintree philosophy. Our Plaintree philosophy guides our nursing team in providing our patients and families with safe, quality, and individualized health care to enable physical healing and optimal patient outcomes. We focus on promoting human interaction. We provide a lot of hope, empathy, and education to our patients. Our patients and our families are our primary focus. With that, we try to respect their wishes as much as possible. We provide comprehensive information and education on patients' illness and their treatment plan so that they can help make informed choices about their own healthcare. We maintain a comforting environment through architecture and interior design. We focus on holistic care by providing cultural meals. We have volunteers who bake on our units. We bring music therapy and pet therapy to our patients. Our goal is trying to create positive emotions with their stay in the hospital. We're respectful of individual differences and values. We focus on quality of life desired by our individuals. Our spiritual care team is very much involved with our patients, and they help us and our patients in making some challenging decisions about their own health. We're respectful of the needs of our patients and will work collaboratively with other departments and disciplines to meet their needs. We try to bring in alternative therapies to help with the comfort of our patients, things such as Reiki, therapeutic touch, soft touch. We train our volunteers on providing those services. We also talk to our students about actually getting trained in those things as well. We developed a safe discharge plan with collaboration of community resources, our facility, and our professional disciplines. To date, we are, like I said, we are a small local hospital, and we are one of the very few hospitals that has remained independent in our area. We're being recognized as a top performer by the Joint Commission.
Okay.
That's it.
That was impressive. Very impressive. And I can't wait to hear more. And in today's healthcare world, what we're hearing from hospital systems, and I think you guys can also support this from all over the country, we're hearing about challenges recruiting trained individuals and keeping those quality individuals at their sites. In addition, we're hearing from educators and professionals alike that the training need to include what it's really like to work in the healthcare environment. So a day in the life of the real world, if you will. We hear a lot about nursing shortages in the news. However, there's a significant shortage as well within our allied health professionals. And in the next 5 to 8 years, it's estimated that over 100,000 jobs will be open for patient care technicians, medical assistants, and phlebotomy technicians. And as you can imagine, these shortages are going to drive competition between healthcare systems, pushing them to think creatively about ways they can attract and retain those quality individuals for the roles. Some of the ideas have been implemented, including robust training and support to new employees, career laddering to promote upward movement with a career path, and higher pay for certifications and credentialing. Everyone wants to like where they work, believe in what they are doing, and feel confident at the tasks at hand. And it takes an organized plan to meet these needs. And I'm excited for you all to hear how Griffin School of Allied Health Careers is implementing their creative plan.
So Griffin Hospital School of Allied Health Careers was started in 2009. And it was because there was a really kind of a crisis going on within the hospital with phlebotomy. And what we noticed is that the skill of the phlebotomists coming in were just not up to our standard. And so I had the task of retraining our entire staff, our entire nursing staff. So after that training, which took a year, I decided, maybe we need to start, putting out good phlebotomists right from the get-go. And that's where the whole idea of the school started. And to be a, pipeline for the hospital. Because there was such a turnover, and not because people didn't like their jobs, but because people move up in healthcare. So a lot of our MSTs, our multi-skill technicians, they're on the path to nursing. So we would lose them through attrition up to nursing, so we always had to replace them. So so I started the school in 2009, and it was a pipeline. I mean, we started hiring right from our first class. And we constantly had a pipeline, but because the students were getting out with really a great education, We are, teaching by the standards. They really came out with, they already came out of classes with a lot of sticks, and then we put them into a hospital laboratory setting for their clinical. So the beautiful thing about a hospital-based school is we have the resources. They don't have to leave the campus. All of the clinicals are done right here, whether it's phlebotomy, whether it's patient care technician. We can send them anywhere in the hospital. And they're being taught by people who are still working in the field, actively working. So we started, the first program that started the school was phlebotomy. And then from there, we added our patient care technician program, and then our CNA, and then most recently our MA program. We struggle with enrollment right now. And COVID did, I think COVID has a lot to do with that, because a lot of people ran from healthcare, and only a few came towards healthcare, because I think COVID scared a lot of people. So we are trying to recover from that right now. But we still, have classes, and we still feed the hospital employees. So what the hospital just started during COVID is we started hiring LPNs to kind of, just alleviate those staffing shortages on our floors. So the school is right now in the process of getting a practical nursing program approved. And we have one more approval to get through, and then we'll have an LPN program. So we are all about right now about pathways, starting off as CNA, stacking credentials, and getting to your end goal, which is, well, hopefully, most likely, an RN. But we also have students that started with me in 2009 who are now working at Griffin Hospitals as, medical lab scientists, RNs. We have PAs. They started in phlebotomy. So it's just a really nice pathway and a career right from the get-go. And we do it in a little amount of time. So MA is our, most lengthy program, and it's 26 weeks, but all of our other programs are anywhere from 5.5 to 17 weeks. So, you could come in and be working and in a career in 17 weeks.
So let me tell you about the patient care technician program. So I came over here to be an instructor because my background has always been med-surg nursing, and I truly understand the value of having multi-skilled technicians or patient care technicians there assisting our nursing team. So we run a class. It's about 17 weeks total. While they're taking the patient care technician course, they're also taking the full phlebotomy course at the same time. Through all of that, so we are considered like an all-in-one program. By the time they complete the program, they will meet the criteria to take their national phlebotomy exam. They meet the criteria to take their national patient care technician exam, and they will meet the criteria to take the state CNA test if they wish to do so. So they'll get 3 credentials at the completion of the program. Our program is designed to get them as close to 160 hours of clinical time as we can. That's our goal, and we're pretty successful with that. In those 160 hours, we do have to give them some hours at a nursing home or a skilled nursing facility so that we can meet the criteria so that they can take the state CNA test if that's what they wish. But the bulk of their hours are really spent at the hospital. Being that we are a hospital-based program, we have a lot of flexibility with what our students' needs are. So some students come in and they don't have a clue, what they want to do, where they want to go. So we can move them from department to department, unit to unit. We can go from med-surg to telemetry to intensive care unit to childbirth center, the emergency department. We've had several students even ask with an interest in psych, and we've been able to place them in our inpatient psych department to get some experience there as well as to what they can do to be helpful to the nursing staff. And that's been, students are really happy to be able to kind of go to different areas to find out exactly what they want. We've even had some who had interest in radiology when they were with us, and we've been able to get them into the radiology departments to see what that's all about as well. So again, it is a 13-week of didactics, 4 weeks of extensive clinical at the very end, totaling 17 weeks. You know, like I said, if even like out of the program, they will apply, and most of them will get jobs at Griffin, and they will get jobs in like a variety of places, which has been very, very successful. We do focus on professionalism throughout our program. We focus on patient advocacy and team support with all the staff. We also, you know, our MSTs or our PCTs are also cross-trained in a variety of roles as well. We have them, you know, quickly being cross-trained into unit clerk positions, telemetry technician positions, safety monitors, you know, wherever the need is, we're willing to try to help them facilitate that. Like Tracy said, we are facing shortages like everybody else. Our goal is to provide a quality education and get our students out as soon as possible and out there and working. And again, not everybody's meant to go to college. Some people don't know what they want to do. So it's a great stepping stone in healthcare. And it's been proven to be pretty successful. We have a continuous pipeline that we can feed to the hospital. And, you know, our students with our program, because we do so many hours, they're able to function pretty much independently by completion. The orientation process is much shorter. They've already networked. They're comfortable with the staff. They're comfortable with the department. They know locations of things. So it's really a great opportunity for them.
That's excellent. Thank you. And we know that attracting and retaining quality employees in the healthcare system is important for so many reasons, but one of those reasons is confidence. And I think that with the Griffin Health program, your students are coming out as confident employees. And so when employees feel confident in their roles and can work up to the top of their skill sets, the quality of the patient care increases. And allowing staff to receive competitive pay for their education and certifications, and like you said, providing easier pathways to cross-train and ladder either up or over into different positions, that shows the employee that you value them and that they're appreciated. And when staff feel valued, then you see that value being transferred to their patients. And when patients feel valued, they're going to also transfer that feeling to their community. And it's just a positive cycle that has a lasting impact on all of us.
What's very unique about our phlebotomy program, you know, all the students get certified right on their last day of class. So Griffin Hospital uses a device called PIVO. It is now Becton Dickinson now owns it. They bought it from Phlebotomy Vascular. We were the first hospital to trial this device, and it is a needleless blood draw device, and it is used through the central line. And all of our, in order to use the PIVO device, you have to be certified in the state of Connecticut. Griffin was the leader in this, getting this bill passed. Because they do have to flush the lines with saline. So our the big push for certification for phlebotomy here at the hospital was because they have to be certified to use this device. And this device is put in when a patient gets admitted, and they can have the blood draws through that every single day, and really never get stuck except for the one time they put the IV in. So that's really unique. We were the first hospital to use it in the trial it in the United States. And we're very proud of that. So that's why we continually need certified phlebotomists. All right, so shortages. So as everybody, we are struggling with staffing shortages. So we need to be creative here at the school. And again, like I said before, we are struggling with enrollment right now. So we are trying to restructure our programs just a little without jeopardizing quality, but to get people out in a not 17 weeks, but 12 weeks. Because people have to work now, they have to support their households. And what we're doing is we are going more towards pathways. So we are going to be looking at restructuring some of our classes. And also we have, well, they're completed, but we're going to go with hybrid classes now as well. So students will be doing the didactics at home, and then they'll come in for labs. So we are going to kick all this off this coming May. But we really have to keep up with, the times if we're going to succeed and get, more students in here. Our pathways for our CNAs, from CNA, they could go right up to, phlebotomy. And then also we could do an EKG add-on, which will get them to take the PCT program. So there's going to be a nice pathway for the students to come in and do it a little quicker and do it on their own time at home if that's what their schedule allows. We recognize that we need to do this to move forward, to move the school forward. And, so people have options. So we were just talking before this started that, since COVID, we find that a lot of people want to get out of their house and come to, and people do need in-person classes, whether because they don't focus at home, whatever the case, but at least now they'll have an option to do whatever fits their schedules best. That's pretty much, where we're at with the school. We've seen that a lot of schools have gone hybrid. And now that there's a lot going on. There's just always something going on, they're always asking us to create more just to fill the needs. And we're doing this on the lab side too, because there's such a shortage of lab technologists. We're always partnering with different, higher institutions so we can get credits for our programs. So there's, it's just always evolving, and there's always so much to do. I'll let Michelle talk a little about the high school program that we started 4 years ago. And every January, we now have high school. Instead of us going to the high schools, they come to us. So I'll have Michelle talk about that.
So we have, Griffin likes, we want to take care of our community. So our surrounding schools, our high schoolers, we understand that not everybody is going to go to college. They're not, either they don't, academically, they're not able to get to college. Financially, they may not be able to get to college. They may have no interest. They don't know what they want to do. So we understand that, and we want to be able to help out our community. So we have partnered with the high schools in the Valley here. We've been approved under a grant from the Workplace Youth Services Program for 4 years. They have actually agreed to help financially send high school students to our program, and specifically the patient care technician program, which combines our phlebotomy. So we are doing our second cohort, will be coming through in January. Of these high school students, they're very engaged. We're focusing again on the ones, that again are not going to probably go to college, who are still trying to figure out what they want to do. The high schools too want their students to be successful. They're looking for ways to make sure their students graduate. And if they're not going to college to be successful that way, what other ways can we get them to be successful? So we're here to help them along their journey. Healthcare has a lot of opportunities for them. And so they come to our program, and they get the same education that the rest of the students that have come through here get. But, we do have it catered to our high schoolers. We recognize that, they don't have the life experiences of some of our other students. So, we have to be a little bit more attentive to them. We've had to gear our clinical a little bit differently to really make sure that they felt comfortable getting into the clinical environment. So, sometimes we have to place an extra instructor to help facilitate that. We don't want anybody feeling uncomfortable and scared. So, we've been attuned to their needs when it comes to, those situations. But we've also found that the high school students, our last crew, were very engaged and very excited to be here. So, it's a great opportunity for someone, to be able to get that education and get a certification and be able to actually start working and, make money to be able to do whatever they want to do, move on, stay in the same role. It all depends what their interests are. But they're not really ready to make their life decisions yet. So this is a way to get them there and to explore other options. As far as that goes. And like Tracy had also said, with our different pathways, being that we're facing staffing shortages, we have to also be attuned to the staff we do have at the hospital and ways that we can try to make that staff better, where they can continue their education. Some of them have certifications lapse. So again, ways that they can get back into getting their certification so they can continue to navigate the healthcare system. So, we're all about supporting our community and providing the best education that we can.
Okay, thank you all so much. We're going to open it up for additional questions, but I just wanted to remind you about the survey that I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar. And I believe Teresa is going to also share this link, but we'll share the slides. But if Teresa will share the link in the chat, you can click on that link and you'll have it open in a browser that you can complete the survey after the webinar. And like I said, we'll also share the slide deck as well as the recording. And I have been monitoring chat, and I believe that the questions have been answered for the most part, it looks like. Yeah, the last question was about, you mentioned maybe some state and federal funding that was available. And where were you finding those funds?
So the one that Michelle was talking about for the high school kids, that is the youth services grant, and it's under the workplace. And we also work with our local, so Team Inc. pays for in full for students to come to the school, and BH Care, which is a domestic violence shelter, they pay. So you got to do your WIOA is huge. And you could apply for, the regions in the state, wherever you are. We are not on the EPTL list because we choose not to, but we have a lot of different options that will pay for the process. We have payment plans. We have, a whole bunch of different options.
Awesome.
Do a lot of referrals.
Like you said, it varies by state, but so many opportunities available out there.
Great.
And once you do your research, yeah. Well, we are almost to the end of our time here together, but I'm gonna open it up for any parting thoughts or comments from you all, Tracy, Michelle, Carla, or any last minute questions into the chat. And it doesn't look like we have anything else. So we really want to thank you so much for your time, for everyone who joined, for Tracy, Michelle, and Carla for presenting. This is very valuable information. We have inquiries on a regular basis from employers throughout the country who are looking to have additional options because they value their schools and the graduates and the cert holders coming to them, but they're just looking for other options as well, so that they can fill all of these openings that they have. And so looking for these types of opportunities to have training programs within their organizations. So thank you so much for sharing. Again, we will share the slides and the recording for all of you who have joined and or registered. And we appreciate y'all. So thanks so much. Have a great day.